recording.
Okay, so we're here at the Great Escape. This is Martin Goldsch from Cooking Vinyl, and we're here discussing the results of the Vote for Music campaign, which we announced the results of this morning. So Martin, the four things that came through really loudly during the campaign were music education, funding for the grassroots music scene, agent of change, and then the whole issue of tax reforms, which I know is something that you're interested in.
I think they're all four of them are really good, really important points, and it's great. I mean, I'm focused on recorded music, and the tax situation there is basically there's government support for private investors to get money to invest in the music industry, and the private investors get all the tax breaks. And I don't want to stop that because it's a useful source of funding for artists, for labels. So I'm not opposed to that at all. But what I think is ridiculous is that there isn't support for the music industry, and specifically what I'd like to suggest is a 25% rebate tax rebate on recording. You get it in other industries with R&D. You get it in creative industries. You get that sort of support for film, for theatre, for games, for orchestras. Just not specifically the exception. The government has said we don't want to give it to rock and pop, and by association jazz or folk or whatever. And it's ridiculous because for a number of reasons. I think the government should support culture. I think it's really philistine that the government have this attitude to culture. I remember doing a trade mission in China and speaking to one of the key people in the Chinese embassy, and they were saying that they'd rather spend a day in an airport lounge than come to the UK. And then you start talking about the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, and their eyes light up. Music is one of the best, most important things for the image, for a positive image of this country. It's something we should be so proud of. And the music industry has been hit harder than any of the other creative industries by internet disruption. And what that's led to is a kind of risk averseness that's led to just funding safe stuff. And if there was tax support, we would get far more interesting, far more exciting, far more culturally diverse music being funded. And it's not about supporting record companies. From our record company, most of the time we get finished product already packaged, recorded by the artist. So the artist would be benefiting far more than us. But it's also what's been hit far harder than record companies and artists is actually the recording industry. It's been flattened by technology. Now you can record so cheaply, and this would really help recording studios, this would help session musicians, this would help producers, this would help recording engineers, and that has a big spin-off, a very positive spin-off to the economy as well. So this isn't about supporting record companies, this is far, far wider than that. And I would really want to urge UK Music, the BPI, AIM, BASCA, all the NARAs, whatever the Recording Industry Association, Studios Association is, to really take this on board, run with it and champion it. And the last thing I want to say, sorry.
No, you were talking earlier about the importance of united
the last thing I want to say is that I had a dinner once with the then-time cultural secretary, and he said that the reason why the music industry gets so little support from government is that it's so divided. There's never a unified message, and if there's two messages, the government can't support it and you're wasting your time. And the financial services industry is brilliant at lobbying, and that's why the main tax break for recorded music is actually for financial services, for private investors investing in music, and not directly 100% of it going to the music industry. We need to get an agreed position behind UK music, behind closed doors, and once we've got that, we need UK music to champion it with one voice and present a clear message that we all agree with to the government. Thanks.